Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about Drew's logger boots. I'm going to talk about some literature I have here and how they're constructed, some leather pieces that was given to me by Drew's boots to talk about the inner parts of the boot. So I'll talk about those and read up on some literature. I know a lot of you have been wanting me to do this video. I've just had to find the time to sit down and do it. These are my 8-inch loggers, all rough out brown. I've been wearing them in rotation with my black 10-inch loggers, and I've been doing everything in them, standing on concrete, working in my yard, hiking. We went out to the lake in them. I work every day standing for long periods of time, and these are the most comfortable boots I own. And I have had many types of boots in the past, and these are the best. I can't imagine standing all day on another boot after wearing these. So if you're wondering if they're worth $350, they sure are. So let me go through some of the literature. This is the Drew's logger. It has heavy duty leather lace, same used by major made in the USA Pacific Northwest boots. I should mention these are made in Leon, Mexico. 4.5 to 5 ounce full grain soft gusset leather tongue, and it's a thick leather tongue. It's stout. It's not a real thin piece of leather. It's about as thick as one of your Red Wing mock toe boots, so maybe thicker. Solid brass heavy duty hardware, same as used by major made in USA Pacific Northwest boots. The hardware's perfect, solid. They're not moving on me. The inside's nice and smooth, not cutting the heck out of my tongue or my false tongue. They got the Vibram 100 White X rubber outsole, which is a little bit softer than the standard 100 lug sole. So it's a little easier to stand on this than it would be the standard sole. The standard 100 lug sole is quite a bit harder than this. It's got a one-piece pull loop. So this piece here coming up around is one solid piece. It's not a sewn piece, so that's going to give that a lot more. I don't know, you can pull on that thing, so it's going to be a lot tougher than just having a sewn piece. So it's not a break point at some point. I got 7.5 to 8 ounce or 3 to 3.2 millimeters of full grain upper leather tanned from USA hides. So they're getting their hides from the US and then manufacturing in Mexico. Obviously, we're manufacturing in Mexico for one, time. You can get it done quicker. Secondly, price. Obviously, labor is a little less expensive down there, so trying to give you a quality boot for less money. It's not exploiting anybody. Those folks down there need to earn a living too, and that's their living wage down there. Unfortunately, here in the U.S., it costs a lot more to have a worker, workman's compensation. There's a lot that goes into insurances that are so high in cost that sometimes going out of the country makes sense. And for this boot to be the quality it is, it's better quality than any of my whites boots, and I have a lot of whites boots. It's better quality. They're more comfortable. And what can I say? They look great. They're holding up so well. I don't know that you could make any argument with this boot as far as its quality goes, because it holds up just as well, if not better, than any of my other boots. And it doesn't squeak. That squeaking stuff is ridiculous. It's not happening with these boots. You got a veg tan leather heel stack. So your heel stack is all veg tan leather. So you're looking at, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of leather in your heel stack here. So there's that. And that's it on this piece of paper. This might be a little bit of a long video, but some folks have asked for it. It's got a new 55-1 last. So here's the literature on it. It says there were several components about the original 55 last that have that has been used in the Pacific Northwest boots for several decades now. Over time, feet have gotten wider and insteps higher. The 55-1 last has a slightly wider toe area and also a higher instep. The result is a roomier toe and facilitates an easier entry of the foot into the boot. The painful break-in time was significantly reduced with modifications to the last and new precision molded insole. The modifications do not alter the look of the boot. So here's your insole, right? It's not flat. They modified this insole and they mold it over a 48-hour period so that break-in's a lot easier. Also with the inside of your toe box, they're right. With the 55, my toes always touch all day long like this. With this, I've got some wiggle room. At the end of the day, when your feet swell up after being on them all day, it's even worse because that 55 last has got your feet stuck together all day, and then as time goes on, your feet are swelling. They're just pinched together all day long. This, all day I can wiggle my toes even after I've been on them all day. So yeah, that improvement has been amazing for this boot. All boots, here's this piece here, and all this stuff's on their website, but all the boots we make are hand lasted by craftsmen who have decades of shoemaking experience, and in some cases are third generation shoemakers. The manufacturing process is over par when compared to Pacific Northwest boot makers based in the Northwest. Some of our manufacturing techniques will be beyond the reach of most US-based Pacific Northwest boot makers. The engineering team consists of highly skilled and world-renowned shoemakers who have worked with major footwear companies worldwide. This combination of highly skilled footwear engineers and skilled workers ensured that these boots are made successfully for the first time ever outside the US or Canada. Raw materials used in the construction of these fully rebuildable boots are sourced in North America, Japan, and Italy, and in most cases is the same raw material used by the Pacific Northwest boot makers in the US. So they're basically telling you that they're doing it right. They're just sourcing out the US. And Andrew's Boots does make US made boots. They're more expensive. And I've tried them on and they're comfortable, but they have the standard 55 last. And I definitely find these more comfortable. And here goes that I kind of jumped the gun with a pre-molded insole. Here's this page on the pre-molded insole. I'll go ahead and read it. A first in the industry, the insole is full grain veg tan leather, 5 to 5.5 millimeters thick, and precision molded to the last bottom. Each insole is individually molded to the exact size and width over a period of 48 hours. The molding process does not compress the insole or change its thickness, but it significantly reduces the break-in period and increases comfort. Over time, the insole will get the natural imprint of the foot and further enhance comfort. The boots will have enhanced arch support with minimal or no hot spots. Pardon me. I've been out mowing the lawn today, and the allergies are kicking my butt. I feel the wheezing in my throat after breathing and all that stuff. Yeah, they're right on this. This pre-molded insole is amazing. I mean, you've got the comfort straight out of the box, right when you put them on your feet. And then when you do start to break this veg tan insole in and your toes and foot start to mold to it, the comfort level just goes up more and more. So there's that. To combine with that, we have this page here, the attention to details. To add more precision to our assembly and to ensure that the left and right boots are mirror copies for identical fit and feel, we mark the bottom of the insoles so that the shank insert and the shank can be placed in the same spot every time. This ensures a proper fitting boot with the arch support, which is consistent. The flare out of the stitch down vamp is also cut to the mark for consistency. So look at this. Okay, so what they do is they mark out where every piece goes on every boot. So now you have your leather piece right here. It fits perfect, right? You've got your shank insert on the insole, and then your shank on the insole. So when they put them together and they line up perfectly on each boot. So the boots aren't being done in a different way. Each left and right is the same each time because they're lined up, they're marked, and then they put it on and put this all together. So look at that. That's a pretty cool feature, right? Instead of guessing or eyeballing, you've got that down right there. So each boot's the same. The next page, box, toe, and heel counter. A full grain vegetable tan leather box toe is standard. This is usually an add-on option with other manufacturers of the Pacific Northwest, and that's for sure, because if you ever got one without the option, you know that leather, the toe box can be real soft, and the leather is just the leather from the outside of the boot, not on the inside, which would be this piece here, adding extra rigidity to your toe box. And then you've got your heel counter right there. A 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter full grain vegetable tan heel counter is used standard in all our boots. That's the heel counter, and that is thick. And on your heel, on your boot, that is just solid. So when you hit something on that back of that heel, you're not feeling it. It's not denting your boot. You're not hurting your heel. That is a super thick piece of leather that's going on the inside of that boot for your heel. So you have your toe box area reinforced with the piece of leather, and then this thick piece for your heel counter. Next, this talks about the one-piece pull loop. All our boots have one-piece back strap, which is diamond stitched. This ensures that the chances of pulling the pull loop off the boot is eliminated. This means more work and leather consumption, but we feel that is worth the time and effort. We use heavy-duty T138 bonded threads for upper stitching. So what they're saying is this is all just one piece here coming into your boot. So you're not gonna blow that stitch out over time by pulling on it. This is all just one piece. It's gonna stay together. So that's an extra feature. So your toe box here, you got that leather on there, and that's an extra feature, a pull loop and a solid pull loop. And they're not really charging anything extra for that. So it's not an option, it's standard. It's pretty cool. Here's where we get to an interesting part here. That's where that comes in. It's 48 hours on this machine, and I'll read about it. The soles are pressed on using a high pressure hydraulic press plus a press pad, which is the exact negative of the Vibram 100 outsole. This ensures that the sole is bonded with extreme strength to the rubber midsole, and sole separation is virtually impossible, even in heavy use. So 48 hours time for that to be pressed on there. Pretty impressive, actually. And here's the next piece. Thanks for bearing with me, folks. If you like this stuff, like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out the channel. It lets me know which way to go with my content. I appreciate you watching. Iron nails made in the US are used to attach the heel block to the outsole and midsole. These nails go in at an angle and ensure that the heel does not come off. So again, another USA made product. So we're just we're coming off of the leather here in the US, and I know Canada as well. When I talked to Kyle Baker, who works down at Baker's Boots, who they own Drew's Boots, he mentioned that some of the hides do come from Canada as well. So your clinch nails are here in the US. And next, we talk about the leather midsole is marked for accurate nailing. I don't have a midsole with me, but if you look on the paper, it looks like they put marks there as to where it needs to be nailed. So it's marked for accurate nailing. A double row of nails are added around the rear of the heel for added strength. Italian steel nails are used to attach the leather midsole. The nails have threads which run the full length of the shank, and the tips are also clinches. So they're clinch nails, so that means that they hit and they bend over on the last. This gives double security against midsole separation. So they're going above and beyond there too, doing double row nailing. And we're almost done with this video. So bear with me. I think I got 2 pages left and then a wrap up. Here's the next page. The first bottom stitch of our boots only go through the rubber midsole. So that's here. First layer is going to go through the rubber midsole. The second stitch goes all the way through the midsole and the rubber outsole. This requires several extra steps in manufacturing process. But with this method, once the stitches exposed under the outsole get worn out, the upper is still held in place with the first stitch, which is not exposed, and the boot remains intact. So basically what they do, they run the rubber midsole through a stitching machine, and then the second set runs through and they stitch it again, because these stitches around here do tend to start wearing out over time. And they also screw it in. As you can see here, it's also got screws to hold it in. So this thing is triple protected from coming apart. There is no separation in this boot. None. At all. Look at that. None. And I've been wearing these hard. Okay. One last piece of paper. Here's the insides. Okay. So, oh, there's also a piece of cork filling that goes. That's it, I know. Long day. Oh, your cork filling. It's going to go right here. There's a little piece of cork that they do. Pre-molded cork, which holds together great. It goes right in here. Gives that little added bit of comfort and allows, when this all forms down, this will go, it's like underneath the footbed here, right? Yeah, before the midsole. So that's right there. That's going to add when you start to mold your foot. That's going to also mold in, give you a little more comfort. So we're looking at this. You got your, it's hard to hold this and read it in the thing here, but you got your cork filling, leather vamp lining, which is another layer of leather on the inside of the boot. You got your 9 to 10 iron veg tan leather insole, pre-molded. That guy there. Your 10 to 11 iron veg tan leather counter. Well, that piece there, thick piece for the leather. It's incredible what you get for $350. It's incredible. They're doing an awesome job. Full grain leather. You got your veg tan leather midsole, veg tan leather shank. You got your veg tan leather shank insert, which these are thick pieces of leather as well. These pieces that we just talked about there, thick. And last but not least is the veg tan leather heel stack. So that's the literature. I know lots of people have been asking me to do that. Might seem boring to a lot of folks, but if you're interested in boots and wanted to know more about the Drew's Logger boots, well, that's kind of a long breakdown of it. I hope you like this video. Took a while to get there, and I apologize for the wait on that, but this is quite the impressive boot, and it's $350, $349.99 on the website. I know that I was able to go into Baker's Boots and just pick up my boots. I'm not sure what their wait time is. That's always going to depend upon manufacturing. You know, from time to time, you just need to, you know, check it out. Sometimes you're going to wait a couple months. Sometimes it's going to be a little longer. Sometimes it's going to be less. It's still going to be less time than, I think, Nicks or Whites, which I've heard people complain that they've waited 8 months, 9 months for their Whites or Nicks, and these are a lot less expensive. They're more comfortable, and they're built just solid. I have no complaints about these boots at all. I would pick yourself up a pair if you're in question about sizing. You know, get yourself on a Brannock scale, get some measurements of your feet, call Drew's Boots up, and give them your sizes, and they can help you out from there. I went down a half size for my Brannock scale, and that worked out perfect. I'm a 10.5 on the Brannock. I went with a 10, and they're just fine. I wear a nice, thick, darn tough sock. Pardon me. Oh gosh, that yard was rough today. 2 acres of mowing, 2 acres of weed whacking, but I did it in my black ones today. And my next video is going to be cleaning them and oiling and waxing. So I'm going to wax these and oil my black ones. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope that y'all like it, and give me a thumbs up and a like and subscribe. See you in the next video. We're going to clean both of my boots up. Not that they need much, you know, I'm just going to give them a nice brushing. Oh, the first time a brush has touched this boot, actually. I haven't brushed them in the 3 months I've owned them. We're going to brush them, oil, and I'm going to wax these and oil my black ones. And we're going to do comparisons on which one holds up better. I've got some Baker's Shoes wax, and I've got some Oganoff's oil. So I'm going to check out the differences. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.